Alright guys, welcome to a game called Low Budget Repairs. Now, this isn't the full game, this is a playtest. It's on Steam. It's actually been on Steam for a little while, like as into wishlist. But it's also been on Steam as a while to request access. So I've requested access to this at least 3 months ago, probably double. And today I've actually got access, so it looks like maybe the developers of this are actually ready to kind of give people a play test. It looks like they probably needed to get on top of some things and that kind of thing. So yeah, we're going to play this. Now, I'm not going to lie, I've actually tried to record this before and play this before, so I've got some little experience, but we're going to go again because it is filled with kind of like bugs and issues. You'll probably see it as you go along, and I kind of learned some stuff as I go along, so I think I can give you guys a better recording other than a load of jank. Right, anyway, so let's just get into it. First things first as well, there's a little bug that you can easily fix. When you go into the settings, I think it is on English as default. You can change between English and Polish, but when you change when you load up the game, should we say, everything is in Polish. All the settings, names, everything, it's all in Polish. So you may need to flick through Polish to Polish, then back to English. Sorry. You may need to, I think doing it once should be okay, but you may need to do it a couple of times. But as you kind of flick back and forth and get it back on English, you'll see everything will change to English. So if you come across that bug, just change between the language and it'll go back to English. Now, unfortunately, unfortunately, at the minute, it is only Polish and English supported. You know, obviously, probably when the game gets released, there'll probably be some more languages that will be available. And that's just going, that's just presuming here. I actually have no idea. I've not spoke to the dev, but most games usually have a few languages supported, don't they? Right, let's go ahead and do a new game. Now, there is no save feature. And as we get into this game, I'll actually tell you why I would really like some sort of save feature, because it has got some bugs. So I'll show you that just as we get into it a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do a new game. Right, thanks for joining the playtest. Remember, not everything works as it should. If something bugs, you can always start over. And that is one of the key things here, start over. It's not start from where you've got to kind of thing. So if you get a bug, you need to start over. And I'll kind of, well, hopefully I won't need to show you because hopefully I won't come across them, or hopefully I'll try and avoid them as much as possible. But yeah, I'll kind of obviously explain more and you'll see why it can kind of be a little bit annoying. Okay, welcome to a playtest. This game is still in development. Some things may not work. Yes, we kind of just read that anyway. And as a lot of games as a playtest, they are filled with bugs. This one I kind of feel, I like the look of the game and I like the concept, and I think it'll go a long way. As long as the dev keeps on top of it, it'll go a long way. But as a playtest, I do feel this has got a little bit more bugs than probably they should have, but then again, it is just a playtest. Right. Anyway, right, we've kind of turned the music and that off. I don't know if any of it's copyright or anything. Right, so we've got some steps here, top right. And this was the other thing. When I loaded into the game, I had this on English. Everything was still in Polish. The first steps, the box was there, but there's no text. There's no writing. I had no idea what I had to do. So go ahead and just change between languages and it'll fix itself. Right, so let's start with the top, the bedroom. Patch the wall holes, paint the walls in vanilla, clean up and take out the trash, and take the rug lying against the wall in the living room and place in the bedroom. So we're going to do all that. So the living room, or the bedroom, is the first story on the right. So we'll take out the trash. Now, we can go outside. There's a vehicle to go to a DIY store. You can't seem to buy, like, things like nails and that. They seem to automatically just appear. You don't have to buy them. You don't have to select them. And you kind of see it as we go along. But we start off with some rubbish bags. We got like 99 of them. So we'll just press 1, and then we'll press E over the highlighted rubbish, and it'll pick up the rubbish. So straightforward, and that kind of dumps out there. Now, if we press an old Q, we've got some things that we can select between. Let's just select the empty hands. Let's I believe we can open the window and we're going to get rid of the rubbish. I actually have no idea, and I don't think there is. I don't think there's like any bins or trash cans that we can put that in. So we're just going to throw it out. You can just leave it in here. The first time I did it, I kind of just left it in here. Right, and you can see that's now ticked off. So let's fix the holes. So this is like clear in there. And this is kind of what I got stuck on as well to start with. But if we select the scraper, get the plaster compound, and then we'll kind of just fill that up. We can actually crouch. We'll just drag that over. I think that's kind of... That grey, by the way, looks like it's the paint coming off or some of the plasterboard or something. We can't actually get rid of it, and I'll show you. Have I used... Oh. Okay, that's fine. We're out, but we've actually patched them up anyway, so a little bit janky. And this is a game about doing things, I guess, kind of on the cheap. Not doing them properly, but doing them well enough. Right, and I think obviously when it comes out on Steam as early access, there'll be more to the game. Obviously when it gets developed and the main game is released, obviously, yeah, there'll be more to it. Right, now we want to actually paint. So let's just paint these. We can obviously crouch if we want to. And you can see I'm going over the grey bits, but there is actually... Oh, yeah, it doesn't actually do anything. I believe, there we go. And we painted the walls. Right, okay, so now we've got to get the rug. So we don't have to put the paintbrush away. We can just select our hands. So we need to get a rug. That is inside the living room, which is up here. And I think if something bugs out and you kind of reset, things duplicate. I've had 4 rugs in here before now. I've gone and got one out the living room. One's already on the floor here, but it still thinks I haven't done it. And I've had 2 rolled up here. Now this is going to roll out. So we'll just do that, give it room. If there's no room, it'll kind of roll back and you have to pick it back up. Right, and I'm trying to do everything where it doesn't bug out. Oh yeah, so we've got little blackboards with writing on. It kind of explains what each thing is. So there you go, you can kind of see. I don't think there's any there, but there is some in here. So there's one there. And what that carpet laying there. But yeah, so you can read them. Feel free to read them. Right, living room. Pick up the clock from the couch and hang it on the wall to the right of the door. Now, when it said that, I was thinking the right was kind of this direction. The clock's there, coming through the door, there's a door, this to the right. It actually wants it up here, I guess by this. So don't do what I do and put it up here because it won't work. I have no idea if it works there, but it works over there. So what we need to do is get the drill. I don't know, it doesn't seem to be an exact point. Now, I think in the game, you can actually, if you drill into the wires, you can electrocute yourself. But we're just going to kind of, I guess what, put it there. Is that a good enough height? And we'll kind of just hold the button down. And just drill the hole. We'll select our hands again. And again, all this menu is just by holding Q. Right, and we'll pick that up. Oh, no, we won't. We need to select the screwdriver. You can see it's automatically put a screw there. We don't, from what I can tell, and again, this may change as it gets updated. We can't buy screws. I'm guessing, you know, and we'll just screw that in. I'm guessing in the early access something, these will probably be available at the store to buy. I would kind of like that. You have to go and buy your hardware. You maybe get some to start with, like you got your starter tools, but then you have to go and buy some. Now let's hang this. Right. And I think we can then just drop that. Now, I have no idea. So open the radio menu, press Q, drill it all. Approach the wall. So we've done that. Screw in, open the radio menu, approach the pre-drilled hole, hold left mouse button to screw in the screw. Yeah, so we've done that. Right, so press E, approach the wall, and then Over the position, release the object to hang it on the screws. Okay, now we do have a leveler, but I actually have no idea how you kind of use this. Because it's not working. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, well, we'll use this in a bit. We've got to do a picture anyway. Right, kitchen. Kitchen's in here. Let's select our empty hands. So it wants us to remove the stools, which are these, and replace them with the chairs that's in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to open the window. I believe we don't need these. And we'll chuck them out. Be careful that there's no one underneath or no vehicles. You might get into trouble, but from what I can tell, they don't need these stools. Right, and then we'll just kind of replace them with these. So I'm just using E to pick up and E to drop, but it does show you. Right. And what I like to do, gotta be careful. Oh yeah, be careful. You can knock furniture. I broke all this before now, dragging a chair over here. So just kind of lift it up. Be careful. Things will fall. These cabinets, by the way, these, you can knock them and they'll come out of place. They're not fixed. So what I like to do with these, I like to kind of get them where I want them. Push T to reset the rotation. And then kind of drop. I find when I wasn't resetting rotation, this is probably just a bug. Could have just been user error. I find when I wasn't resetting rotation, the chairs are flying and they're going all over the place. So that's why I reset rotation. I think I just knocked some. Oh god. Right. So we'll kind of get it to where we want it. Reset rotation. And we'll drop. And there we go. So that's done. So we've got one more thing and we've got to do this picture. Now, I probably should have done this picture before we've done the chairs. But it is what it is. Now, actually, I don't believe we need to level this. And again, I have no idea how we use the level, but it's there for something. So what I'm going to do, it wants us to hang it above this. So I'm just going to drill a hole there. Right. Oh, maybe that one was more center. So I thought that one was more center. It wasn't. Set the screw. It should still count. It's above this. I think as long as it's on this wall, it's fine. Oh, yeah, look. This is why I said we should done this first. Right, and then... Oh. It actually did count as well. Oh, right, be careful. Right. Okay, now we need to get that level. Just give me a second minute, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Just had my little lad wake up crying. So, right, yeah, the missus is sorting that. So, yeah, right, okay, what I've thought, oh, God, breaking stuff, is, so I got the level, I kind of just had a little experiment, got the level out, and you can actually, with the level, you can draw a line, and it gives you the option to do that. So, kind of, I should have done that beforehand, but we kind of got the screw there, I think we can... I don't know if that's level, but I kind of tried to draw the line. Oh yeah, that's definitely not level. Right, I'm making a bit of a muck of this, but Yeah. How about we do... We could probably fill them in if we really wanted to. Right, so what I'm going to do is, because that one's level with that one, I think, you can kind of see what I was doing. I kind of just can't aim. This game, when I did that first store, it did like a close-up. But I couldn't get it them last few times. So if we do that, and then we'll do that, and then we'll do that. And then we'll just kind of like pin it. Oh. All right. Yeah, you can see things ain't fixed. There we go. Yeah, I think if it was more there, it would be more level, but it's fine. Right, it's fine. We're done. Perfect. Now to complete the job. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to actually end the video. We've been like 20 minutes. But I want to say quickly is somewhere probably around about now or in a few seconds time. Top left, there'll be two boxes. Top left box will have the last video that I've done. So if you want to watch that and check that, you can do. The bottom box, there'll be like you can click on it and it'll take you to the playlist of my DayZ tutorials. So anyone that watches my content for DayZ related stuff, you can go and watch all my tutorials from there. So yeah, but let's quickly just show you how this completes. So come up to that, finish job. Now we got 8% job done. That looks good. I think as long as it's green, we're okay. Now we can see. Sorry, you might hear my kid screaming downstairs. It should say what we have done wrong. Stay and fix, bonus, budget fix. Some areas could have been done with a little more care. Overall, it's not bad. So any little mistakes. So I think, so like first time I did it, I had things where it weren't level. So actually, that's not too bad. But I think because I drawn a load of holes, made a load of mess, that's not where it should be. It kind of knocks you down, but as long as you do the job good enough, it's fine. I do think some jobs are time limited, so you've got to be careful with that kind of thing. So yeah, anyway, right, let's go ahead and complete the job. We'll get paid that much, and then it'll give us the option to go to the next stage. So what I'm going to probably do is these kind of like next jobs, I'm going to just sit here and try and play through, but I'm going to put them as a separate video. So like I said, top left of this video will be a link to the last video. Bottom left, it'll take you to my DayZ tutorial. Apart from that, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.